Hello there and welcome back to another review. So long before Jackie Chan did his version of a Drunken Master sequel, namely Drunken Master 2 in 1994, Yuen Woo-ping actually got to work on a sequel right away, right after the original was made, and that is the film we're going to be looking at today, Dance of the Drunken Mantis, made in I believe 1979. And it's sort of a spin-off or encore to Drunken Master as such, if you will, rather than an actual sequel. I'd always look at it as sort of a sort of like spin-off. No Jackie Chan this time, obviously, but what we do get is Shun-Yi taking his place as our lead. Jackie Chan, that same year, was busy doing his directorial debut in Fearless Hyena. We also have Hwang Jang-Lee here as our villain again, here playing Rubber Legs, and of course Yoon Soo-tin as Sam Seed, which am I right in thinking this was his last sort of full film? Simon Yuen, was this the last film he did that he was sort of in? I know he had a small role in Buddhist Fist, and he was meant to be a Magnificent Butcher, but I think this was the last full-length film that he actually did complete before he passed away. I've read mixed reviews of the movie over the years. Some have said it's a 5-star kung fu movie, Dance of the Drunken Mantis. Some said it's a kung fu classic. Others have said it's average at best. I think the people that maybe bash this movie because basically it isn't Jackie Chan. I think that's what a lot of people, when they see, it's meant to be a Drunken Master sequel, and they watch it and it's like, well, there's no Jackie Chan here. Others said it's saying it's average at best. Like Shun-Yi, our lead, was still amazing and a great gifted performer, let's be honest. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the charisma that Jackie Chan has. That's the only downside. Nothing, not to take anything away from Shun-Yi, but he just doesn't have the charisma that Jackie Chan did, unfortunately. But the film is still vastly enjoyable kung fu romp, and you get the impression that Yuen Woo-ping was like, God, wow, Drunken Master was even bigger than Snake in the Eagle Shadow. Let's see if we can make lightning strike twice, try and catch a lightning in a bottle again. Although still highly enjoyable, of course, it was never going to be as good as Drunken Master. I think that's where this film sort of maybe falters a little bit, because it's just you are forever sort of comparing it to the original Drunken Master, but it gets to sort of... It gets to some good heights, but it just never quite gets to the heights of Drunken Master. I say Jackie was busy doing Fearless Hyena this time, but you look at how many films have tried to imitate and copy Drunken Master over the years, and Yuen Woo-ping and the Yuen clan, they give it a damn good try. I mean, it's their film, it's their baby, and there was loads of Drunken Masters and knockoffs. There was World of Drunken Master by Joseph Kyo, but Yuen Woo-ping does have a damn good attempt here. I mean, this, you have to remember as well, this was like Yuen Woo-ping's third movie as a director. But at the same time, saying that with the people that don't like this movie, I've spoke to people in the past, and some said they even prefer it to the original. There are fans of this movie. Make no mistake about that. It's a real kung fu movie that's got so mixed opinions across the board. Like, some people love it, some people think it's okay, some people think it's better than the original. All these things. It's incredible how mixed this thing is, though. But they all do an amazing job in this film. Hwang Jang-Lee is obviously having a lot of fun here, and as I say, Shun-Yi is a very good as Foggy, our lead. Back when Woo-ping would cast his brother as the lead and look at films like this and Buddhist Fist, before he went into more villainous roles in like Drunken Tai Chi and Dreadnought, talking about Shun-Yi. Now, is it Drunken Mantis or Drunk Mantis? Is it Dance of the Drunk Mantis, Dance of the Drunken Mantis? I've always called it Dance of the Drunken Mantis. I know some people call it the other one. I call it both, actually. I think I mix it up between the two. What is great, though, about this film is that it does keep that Drunken Master, Snake and the Eagle Shadow vibe strong and in full force. It's definitely got that Snake and Drunken Master vibe and feel going through this film. It makes you wonder if, like Yoon Soo-tin, if he didn't pass away, how many films he would have gone on to make with that Sam Seed character. I'd imagine they would have probably kept that going. I'd imagine there'd have been Sam Seed. There would have been something else after this. And it would have been wonderful to think if Jackie Chan, like if Yoon Soo-tin didn't unfortunately pass away when he did, if they ever would have teamed up again. If they ever did, would have done a true sequel to Drunken Master together. But unfortunately, that's something we'll never know. So strap yourselves in and let's go for another round with Beggar So, Sam Seed, whatever you, but these either or, isn't it? It's acceptable. So the film opens and we learn that Sam Seed practices the southern form of drunken boxing, and that the northern form was practiced by Rubber Legs, who has combined that style with Mantis. Watch out for Corey Yuen here. Corey Yuen Kwai's our Rubber Legs student, who him and Rubber Legs begin to fight someone pretending to be Sam Seed, as they're just after Sam Seed. And I do like that they expand the Drunken Master lore, like there's northern and southern style, which I thought was quite awesome. I mean, you have to remember as well, this was quite brave of the Yuen clan to make a sort of semi-sequel without Jackie Chan. And as I say, while the film isn't 100% perfect, it is still highly enjoyable and a great classic kung fu from Yuen Woo-ping. Not in my eyes maybe as classic as Buddhist Fist, but there's still a lot to be enjoyed here. We meet Foggy working in a restaurant. For some reason, he gets hassled by these two, keep putting dead flies on their food. I mean, there's no idea why they're doing this. They're just putting flies on their food just to cause hassle. And like I've always mentioned, if you work at a market or a restaurant or anything like that in these kung fu movies, you're going to have a hard time. I say they didn't. For no reason, this guy's got like a collection of dead flies that he carries around with him. I have no idea. And these two, they do like chicken and duck style. So right off the bat, you're getting the general tone and vibe of what the film is going to offer. Just Yuen Woo-ping and the Yuen clan going a bit crazy. They are like sometimes, like I say, it's almost like they're lampooning the kung fu thing. You got somebody like Liu Kao-lung who was always very serious, trying to show the real kung fu, and then Yuen Woo-ping was always the one. Him and his clan were always sort of the ones that were sort of lampooning it, sort of seeing how eccentric they could take, how outlandish they could make it. So you really do get a vibe with a vibe for what the film has in store. So we have the sort of slapstick comedy style as you would come to expect. Foggy gets fired for fighting them. We then catch up with the real Sam Seed and this man and woman who want to mug him, with the woman pretending she is pregnant. Even at one point saying, "I know it's you," as your bum is covered in freckles at some point. So it's definitely, you've definitely got the humour in this one. So compared to something like Buddhist Fist that I reviewed not that long ago now, Buddhist Fist probably one of the more serious Yuen Woo-ping vehicles sort of from this era, sort of 78 to sort of 81, 82, but this one you've got the comedy going on in full force. I say, so it says about the bum on the freckles. And I think at one point as well, he even says, at my age, I can't even get it up, let alone. So Foggy, sort of thinking he is doing a good deed, intervenes and lets them get away. Sam Seed right away hates Foggy, saying like, "You're a complete idiot." They have a fight and Sam Seed slaps him like crazy. We have a debt collector played by Yut Sang Chin, wanting money from Sam Seed's wife, played by Linda Lin, who was also in Drunken Master. If you remember her in Drunken Master, she was the one who's like fights Jack in the Market, who's got the great leg work, and she gets to show off leg work here as well, her awesome kicks, which are just really cool to see. And it's great that they get the cast back. It's great that by and large the whole, apart from Jackie Chan, everybody is there, Dean Shek's there, they're all in there. So Sam Seed has a wife, we finds out and returns home and gets into a fight with his wife right away, involving a broom and him spanking her. It's quite funny because Foggy turns up and she is like, "Meet your dad," because obviously he takes a dislike to Foggy right away. He really does hate this guy right away, and they've met each other, they've obviously got off on a bad foot, and she's like, "Meet your dad," and it's the same guy, because she's adopted him. Bearing in mind Sam Seed hates him already, and he's actually quite mean and nasty to Foggy throughout the duration of the movie. It's a very different character of Sam Seed compared to Drunken. I've always felt the character in Dance of Drunken Mantis of Sam Seed was a bit different. He was a bit off. He was a lot crueler. It's very different to the way he was treating Wong Fei-hung in the original Drunken Master, but he's quite mean. So Foggy and Sam go into a bank where we see Dean Shek as money bags, as Sam Seed sent his wife some money and apparently she didn't get it, and it's just an excuse for another fight scene, of course, where Sam takes his rings and jewellery as sort of compensation for the loss that he's had. The scene, while less entertaining, it does outstay its welcome a little bit. When I say this film is good, I've always felt it's good, but it's it's not a sort of as good, unfortunately, as Drunken Master. But there's some scenes in this where it does go on a little bit too long. But you have to remember, Drunken Master was so perfect. I'm not by any means saying this film is bad. It's like, you know, comparing something that is just untouchable, that is just perfect from start to finish. But this film, as I mentioned at the start of the review, does give it a damn good try. Just outstays its welcome just a tiny bit, this scene. So though Foggy and Sam sort of get it on in this scene, they not get it on, but they get on, is what I was meant to say. They get on, in this scene they get on. The very next scene, Sam is like, you have no talent, you're an idiot, you're lazy, and we'll not teach him Drunken Fist. After sort of following him, Sam Seed agrees to teach him Spinning Earth, Spinning Sky, and all he does is basically humiliate him with the training. Whereas the Sam Seed in Drunken Master was quite lovable. This one is actually quite a mean sadist. Like, he's a bit of an arse to Foggy, like using his training to help. You know, he's really mean. He's really mean at some point, like using his training to help, like keeping Sam Seed cool, and then he's with the training, he's like sort of helping him, making him sort of like he cracks some nuts for him. And he goes one further too, saying it will take you 3 years to master, because 1 year because you're stupid, another year because you are dumb. Even at one point forcing him to like drink against his will, and he's like, you stand no chance, and you're too damn stupid to learn drunken boxing. You know, and you, unfortunately, you sort of start to dislike Sam Seed. You start to like sort of dislike the Beggar So character, because he becomes a bit of an, and like he was not like that in the previous Drunken Master movie, but here he sort of, he turns into like somebody who's quite mean, quite nasty, and Foggy has been nothing but polite and willing to learn from him. So yeah, the Sam Seed in this is a bit, I think that might be a bit why I don't like it as much, because I just thought the Sam Seed character was a bit different, whereas the first one, in the first film, he was a bit more kinder. He was a bit, you know, and Wong Fei-hung wasn't even sort of part of his family or anything like that, and this is somebody that his wife has adopted, and it's their son, and he's just horrible to him, absolutely horrible. So Foggy leaves a note and basically bails after he's been treated so crappy, and to be honest, I really don't blame him. So Rubber Legs turns up to Foggy's restaurant, who overhears he is looking for him and wants to put him in a coffin. Rubber Legs and his student stay at the inn. So for some reason, when fighting his student, Foggy reveals he knows Sam Seed. He said he's looking for Sam Seed. Foggy reveals that he knows Sam Seed, which he really didn't have to do, and he could have kept that part to himself, surely. So he gets beat and runs back to Sam Seed, and his wife's all beaten, like, and he goes back in. His wife Sam Seed's wife comforts him, and he's all beaten and bruised. Then we cut to Sam Seed in like this deserted inn at night where he meets Rubber Legs. The two get into a competition of drunken boxing, which is a great, entertaining scene. It really is sort of the standout scene from the movie. Really, it's definitely up there. Makes a change seeing Hwang Jang-Lee do some drunken style, which is awesome. And I love each going to take a drink, but the other one won't let them, sort of depriving them of having a drink. And I do love the idea, like I mentioned, that there's two sort of styles and forms of drunken boxing, and just what's going on with it. And the first time we get to see Rubber Legs' version of drunken boxing here as well. As I say, a great fight in that classic Yuen clan style, and you really get a sense that Sam Seed has met his match here, which was, I thought that was a very interesting idea in terms of plot, because up to that point, especially in the first film, Sam Seed can just beat anybody. Sam Seed is a very accomplished drunken fighter, but here with Rubber Legs, you really do get a sense that he has met, you know, his match. You really do get a sense of that. Even getting his trousers ripped off, accompanied by the line, Mantis grabs arse at one point as well. Foggy comes in to help, and they both escape, and Sam Seed's injured. Foggy, on his way to get medicine, comes across this remote house with a coffin, and you know, like loads of kung fu movies, they have a gimmick. There's always a gimmick with the kung fu, like if you remember Return to the 36th Chamber, it was scaffolding kung fu, and here it's sickness kung fu. There's a sickness doctor, like kung fu practitioner, played by Shi-Kwan, who many of you will, whenever I bring him up, I always think of, like I say, he was in Dragon Fist, he was in Once Upon a Time in China, a couple of the older Jackie Chans. You're always usually a villain. And Sam Seed is recovering, and this is the gimmick of the movie, really. Rather than keeping it all about the drunken style, the Yuen clan, as mad as they are, introduce sickness kung fu. That's what they're doing here. So Foggy goes back to see him as he thinks this sickness master stole his medicine. And I do like how he's like, well, if he dies, then I'll be your father, so it's no big loss. Talking about Sam Seed, like if he's like, the sickness doctor's like, well, if he dies, it's no problem because I'll be your father, so don't worry about it. So we see his sickness kung fu when fighting Foggy, and after bonding, talking about rubber legs and his Mantis kung fu, he agrees basically to teach him. How Shun-Yi has the strength to do all these press-ups when he's sitting on his back, I have no idea. We do get some elements, some good training here. Not too much, but we get some nice training nonetheless. And it really does show off, like I say, Shun-Yi's strength, and some of the stuff he does is really awesome. Nice training scenes. Like when he wants Foggy to catch bean curd without breaking it. I do like how the movie does a bit of a left turn and doesn't just make it all about drunken style. And I love when the master keeps throwing the bean curd at him at one point and he just keeps catching it, and it all in one shot as well. Shun-Yi's catching this bean curd and he keeps putting it in different places, but it's all done in one shot, and it's a really, really awesome little part. And he has this like worried look on his face, finding places to put each like bean curd that he grabs. So after returning home, Sam Seed follows him to see where Foggy is going, and Rubber Legs randomly finds him at the Sickness Master's house. And I love the fight between Corey and Sam Seed's wife using the spear and sword, and Foggy comes in and sort of takes them on. Corey Yuen, as we all know, directed loads and loads and loads of movies, but Fong Se-yuk and Hero and Yes Madam and loads of movies. But it's weird seeing him in not in like leading role, but a sort of main supporting role here. So all the while Sam Seed is fighting Rubber Legs with Sickness Brother not wanting to get involved, so he sort of sits this one out. And why would he get involved? It's not his problem, this Sickness Doctor. Why? He has no need to get involved at all. Sam can't beat him, and Foggy turns up after beating his student, Korean's guy. Then we have the end fight, which although fun is so brief. It is so brief, the end fight. I always wanted something more epic from this. I've seen this film loads of times over the years. But Hwang, of course, getting to show off some of these amazing feet and leg work and the Drunken Mantis style. Sickness Master tells him to go crazy, and Foggy starts biting him and just launching himself into Rubber Legs at one point. As I say, it's just unfortunate. It's just over so damn quick. It is over. It's such a quick end fight. But I've always found if you look at this movie as more of a spin-off rather than a sequel, it enables you to give the film a bit of a break, like to not be too harsh on it. I think sometimes even I'm a bit too harsh on this movie as well. I mean, to follow up Drunken Master is a big ask. It really is. And I think that's why with like Magnificent Butcher Woodping's his next film after this, although it does have the comedy in it, it's a lot more of a thriller. It's a lot more... Magnificent Butcher, when you watch it, it's actually quite a dark film. It's actually quite dark. Buddhist Fist, as I mentioned, is quite serious, but here very slapsticky, very keeping in touch with that Drunken Master vibe. It's more the Yuen clan just venturing away from that gimmicky slapstick kung fu in later films. They went completely off the wall with Miracle Fighters, obviously, and absolutely love Miracle Fighters. So going back to the film, in his rage, Foggy goes after, he's all mad, he goes after Sam Seed, and I sure hope when he does, he did teach Sam Seed a lesson, because that'll pay him back for being so mean to him all the time. But it's really good. It's just, unfortunately, I've just always felt it's never as good as Drunken Master, but still a lot to enjoy here, and full credit for Yuen Woo-ping for seeing if he can keep the whole Drunken Master thing going. And as I say, it's great to see Sam Seed. It's great Jang-Lee as Rubber Legs sort of steals the show for the most part, but it's still worth checking out. I know he had the tagline Drunken Master Part 2. I'm not sure if that was added on later or if that's always been there, but I've always just called it Dance of the Drunken Mantis. So let me know if you've seen this movie. Do you think it's a worthy sequel and successor to the original Drunken Master? Do you prefer this sequel compared to Jackie Chan's sequel in Drunken Master 2? Be sure to let me know. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you soon.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.